Let's say you're looking for a family hauler. You could get a station wagon, but that's too Brady Bunch. You could get a minivan, but that's too Soccer Mom. Or you can get an SUV, but everyone else in your neighborhood has one of those. Or you can get something different. That's the Ford Flex. The Flex combines attributes of all those vehicles into one very uniquely styled package. It looks like nothing else on the road. There's these ribs down the side of the doors. There's even a contrasting colored roof. Some people think this all looks cool. Other people think it looks like a hearse. But when the slow opening liftgate finally goes up, it exposes the big advantage to having such a boxy shape. Plenty of interior space for both cargo and passengers. With all the seats folded, you get a lot of cargo space. It's not quite as big as a minivan, but still, there's lots of room back here. And when you fold up the third row seat, you'll find it's pretty large. In fact, it's big enough for adults. And there's even more room in the second row. Access is really easy through a large door with a low floor. And seat space, well, there's tons of leg room, plenty of space. Things get somewhat more snug in the front seat. There's plenty of headroom, but the footwell, it's fairly narrow. The Flex's interior, it's made of lots of nice materials. Padded dashboard, all nicely greened. Controls, there's a lot of similar looking buttons in this center console. It's easy to confuse the volume with the temperature control, but you do get used to all of it if you've owned the car for a while. In order to get all that interior room, the Flex has to be a pretty large vehicle. At least it drives like a big car rather than an SUV. Body roll, it's well contained, though the steering doesn't have a ton of feedback, and it's a bit on the light side. Emergency handling, it's secure and benign. For such a big box, it made it through our avoidance maneuver at a pretty good speed. The Flex is really in its element as a highway cruiser. The ride, it's comfortable, it's compliant, it handles anything that's thrown at it. It's also really quiet inside of here. The only objectionable thing is that when you push the engine, it sounds a bit gruff, especially compared to some of the competition. The Flex is powered by a 3.5-liter V6 attached to a smooth shifting 6-speed automatic. The powertrain, it performs pretty well, and it gets 17 miles per gallon. Stopping distances are adequate, but we wish they were shorter. We really like the Flex's optional sunroof. Actually, there's 4 of them. There's one over the third row, 2 over the center row, and 1 in the front. Visibility-wise, there's plenty of glass. It's pretty good to the front and sides, but when you go to back up, this is a long car, and it's a long look back there. We recommend getting the optional backup camera. So the Flex isn't perfect, but it does a lot of things really well. It all adds up to a very pleasant package.